Damn. People are turning down this Cleveland Browns coaching opportunity left and right. Mike McDaniel just turned down the Cleveland Browns, GM Andrew Berry, owner Jimmy Haslem, and quarterback Shedeur Sanders. He has withdrawn from the running for the Cleveland Browns. This is insanity. They might have to go find somebody at Wendy's to take a damn job at this point. This is crazy, man. We got to break this down. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, and hype the video. Let's get right into things. This is crazy. Did not see this coming. I wanted this dude to be the offensive coordinator for Shedeur Sanders, but it is official tissue. It's official, y'all. Former Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel informed the Browns he's withdrawing from their head coaching search ahead of a scheduled in-person interview for Wednesday. McDaniel, who is still a candidate for the Ravens and Raiders head coaching vacancies, is interviewing for the Chargers offensive coordinator job today. He has multiple offensive coordinator offers and could have a new home soon. He might not make it out of the Chargers building. They might be holding him hostage, man. This is crazy. Mike McDaniel has officially turned down the Cleveland Browns. And to be honest, I'm not like, man, I wanted Mike McDaniel, but am I super duper shocked? No. This dude has greater pastures and greater opportunities. I mean, would you rather be the offensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns or the offensive coordinator for the LA Chargers and have Justin Herbert with that stacked offensive line, a first-round running back, some receivers? Like, what's the better situation? Or this dude might become the head coach. He might become the head coach for Lamar Jackson. That is on the table, man. As opportunity elsewhere. And, I mean, man, this thing, we got to get the 92.3 to fan, man, because they are breaking this thing down as well. This is a crazy, crazy story. This is on CBS. Mike McDaniel withdraws his name from the coaching search. He was scheduled to meet on Wednesday, you guys. Let's go to 92.3 to fan as they reported on this as well, and let's see what they had to say.
Just sent out. Former Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel informed the Browns he's withdrawing from their head coaching search ahead of a scheduled in-person interview Wednesday, per source. McDaniel, who is still a candidate for the Ravens and Raiders head coach vacancy, is interviewing for the Chargers OC job today. He has multiple OC offers and could have a new home soon.
Okay, so obviously not great because now we are down to either Jim Schwartz, essentially. Jesse Minter's obviously in the mix, but it'll basically be Jim Schwartz or a young, unproven, unknown offensive coordinator. It's not great.
Listen, I'm going to say this because I want to give a little bit of deference here.
Yeah.
Do I think that this could be that Mike McDaniel realized he wasn't getting the head coaching job? This is very prominent. You realize you're not getting the head coaching job, so you pull out of it before. So it makes you look a little bit better in this process. Well, we got the guy we're going to talk to right now. Albert Breer of the MMQB on the Make It Right, Call Kyle Wright hotline. Albert, welcome to the show, buddy.
You guys are aware of what Mike McDaniel was a part of in Cleveland like 12 years ago, right?
Yeah. You're saying this weighed heavily in that?
I mean, what was it, like a 32-point plan or something like that? What was that? Like him and Kyle.
It's
Kyle
the PowerPoint presentation that he made. Shanahan made him come up with and create.
Right, like the get me the hell out of here manifesto, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I think this is an interesting decision by him. I think maybe there is some feeling that you aren't getting the job. He's also, I think, right in the thick of a number of these, and I mean, to me, like, I think the one he probably winds up in is Tampa. And it could be, like, too, like, that, you know, he isn't getting the job and, you know, he wants to focus on a couple of the other ones. You know, sometimes, and I think that we've gotten to the point with these two where there are so many Zooms being done and so many of these guys are being kind of, like, run through the ringer. And it's like, I mean, if you're doing 50 of them, you know what I mean? Like, and that's a ridiculous number, but like if you've been doing these nonstop for a couple of weeks, and you have a feeling that maybe you're not in the driver's seat for one of them, I mean, you can always go to the team and say, like, look, just level with me. If I'm not getting this, like, why don't we not waste each other's time? I've definitely heard of those sorts of scenarios playing out. Not that it did here, but I've heard of those sorts of scenarios playing out in the past as well.
All right, Albert. So there were 6 people getting a second interview for this job.
Damn, man. Damn, this would have been a good OC, man, but he not even interested no more, man. This sucks.
That now brings us down to 5. Grant Udinski, Nate Shieldhouse, Todd Monken, Jim Schwartz, and Jesse Minter. What do we make of these 5 guys? And do you think that there's a front runner in the clubhouse right now?
Well, so Monken is there today. I believe, I don't have it in front of me, but I believe McDaniel was tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I think Minter was Thursday, and then Udinski Friday. And obviously they can't talk to Shieldhouse until after the championship games. And what form they can talk to him, obviously, is going to be dictated by whether or not the Rams can win. I actually think, it's interesting because I think for a lot of teams, the second round of interviews has become sort of a coronation. And there's been this big race to get to a few of the candidates, right? So I think the guys who are in that category would be obviously John Harbaugh, Kevin Stefanski, Jeff Hafley, who interviewed really well in a number of different places. Jesse Minter's close to being in that category because he did really well and interviewed with every team that had an opening. And then Robert Saleh, had a little traction with a couple of teams, and I think it helped push the process along with Tennessee. It just feels like to me, the Browns are, to their credit, not getting caught up in all of that. Let's see if we can run our own process, and let's see, what this looks like going through it, and find some people we like. And I think some people would look at it and say, well, don't you want to compete? But I also think it's the way that Baltimore and Pittsburgh are handling their business as well, where it's like you go through a full process and you see if you can find somebody that maybe fits you better than anybody else. So, look, obviously I like the guys that are bringing back for second interviews. I would say Minter has interviewed really well wherever he's been. He's a little green. I think Udinski looks like going to be a really good head coach someday, but he's very green. He still has a ways to go in a number of different areas. So it'd be a risk from that standpoint going in on him. Shieldhouse, same thing, really green, but he has head coach qualities. And then, obviously like McDaniel and Monken is a little bit of the older names. So you've got a variety of candidates. And then you have Schwartz, who I think, in a lot of ways, like the 2 coordinators that I thought coming into this process among the 10 teams, where it was like the team basically had more or less sent the signal, like, we want to keep this guy. And maybe he's the head coach, maybe he's not, but we want to keep this guy. One would be Jeff Ulbrich in Atlanta, and Kevin Stefanski retained.
Man, this is embarrassing, man. This is embarrassing, man. The Cleveland Browns just can't, people just don't even want to go, man. Mike McDaniel withdraws himself from the running, man. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. I will say, I don't think this is an indictment on Shedeur Sanders. I think this is more just about it being potentially greater opportunity elsewhere. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. This Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share the